Okay. Today we're doing birria. Birria. We're just gonna eat today. That was good. I'm hungry. Here comes Milo. Milo. You're gonna be red forever, bro. He's literally right here. Are you gonna do it? Yeah. Milo's watching me eat. I had a little bit of a day. Milo's eating with us. So handsome. I got Bear over here. I got Milo in the back. I miss them. I was gone for 5 hours. It was 5 hours too long. I feel like I just went on a horrible first date. Honestly, it wasn't horrible. Out of 10, it was a solid 5, maybe a 7. Probably never gonna talk to this person ever again. And honestly, anything that could go wrong did go wrong. I kept taking that as my sign from the universe that I shouldn't hang out with this person again. But I drove all the way into the city to go to what we thought was a cat cafe. She was late. I was late. We only had 9 minutes to see one cat. They didn't even have multiple cats to play with. It was one cat that was asleep. And I was like, you know what? I should have just stayed at home. She lived far, so I decided to pay for our coffee that was there. I got a matcha and she got a coffee, right? This chick took forever on the drinks, which was fine because they turned out good. And then she tries to say, can you run it one more time? It got declined. And I go, I never even tried in the first place. Oh, okay. Like, how are you going to be so quick to just be like, hey, your card got declined? That's funny because I never gave you my card in the first place. So that was my day. She didn't want to go eat. She didn't know where she wanted to go eat. She dressed like she was on an interview, so I felt a little bit underdressed. Honestly, it was a good time hanging out with her. She wasn't bad to hang out with. It was just solidifying in my mind why I don't hang out with people. She's like, oh, you know, the restaurants that I want to go to are kind of expensive. Okay, where do you want to go? Well, I don't really eat out at restaurants, but I had Popeyes yesterday. Okay, so you don't really eat out at restaurants, you're really bougie, but you had Popeyes the other day? At that point, I was just trying to find somewhere we could sit down and just talk that wasn't awkward at the cat cafe that was closing, that had one cat there. So we went to some ratchet ass mall, some mall that I don't even go to anymore, that it was just not the best time, but we had a good conversation, I guess. But I just kept looking at my watch like, I need to go home to my animals. Oh, Bubba, you're so sweet. I missed you. I missed you. It was fine, I guess. But you know how you feel after hanging out with somebody, and I felt really depressed afterwards. It didn't help that it was sunny and they got really cloudy and rainy the rest of the day. So I'm not sure, you guys. I just don't have anything to talk about with people anymore. I don't have anything to relate to anybody anymore. Milo's playing with me over here. Hi, Milo Shanj. I realize I'm just a crazy animal person for a reason. I mean, I guess it was fun hearing about her dating stories, but, you know, it's just different when you're married. I guess I just lost sight of why I'm doing this. Do you want some? Rude. I've been saying that. You know, I used to think I could give really good life advice and be a girl's girl and tell you guys all my life problems and you'll listen. That's just exhausting. I guess I can tell you about this one thing that's been on my mind. It honestly bothers me to this day. I don't want to talk about the last job. I have to tell you guys that when I'm not eating. We're putting that one on the back burner for now. Have you ever had anybody slap your ass on accident? I know. You're like, Lauren, how could anybody slap your ass on accident? I seen it and I felt it. I don't know. Men are weird. So, it's important that I give you a little background. I was telling y'all about my first boyfriend ever, named AJ. Technically, he wasn't my first boyfriend ever, but technically he was. And I say that because the first one didn't count to me. That one was desperado, settling, first available to pay attention to me. I think I talked about this briefly before. Oh, we ate all of this, by the way. There was this guy. The first one, I'll call him Dre. Dre was mutual friends of my friend's boyfriends. And he wasn't the most attractive, but he also wasn't the least attractive person ever. He deserves it. Doggo. Milo's so mad I'm giving him food right now. Mukbanging with Doji. Give me your face. So, my family hated this guy. I only dated him when I was 14 years old for not even a few weeks, okay? I met his parents one time. My late brother, the late Dick, was like, that guy's a skinhead. I didn't know what that was then. He wasn't. Honestly, we broke up because of my family. And I didn't really even like him. I don't even know how we broke up. I couldn't even tell you what the last conversation was that we had. But something told me I was going to see this guy again. Ran into him twice over the years, and just randomly at the stores. One was at like Target, one was at like CVS. Everything was fine, nothing awkward. And guess who's my now stepbrother-in-law? Yeah, I don't even have to say it. The way that had happened was Dre's mom, biological mom, passed away years ago. And Dre's creepy dad, who's now my stepfather-in-law, got with Jonathan's mom a long time ago. And they knew each other because they were all involved in... Dre's dad was involved in Boy Scouts and was the Boy Scout leader of Jonathan's group. Dre never went to the same school as me, but they were part of the same Boy Scout, whatever. Honestly, I don't think anybody would have known if it wasn't for the father-in-law. Why he had to open up his big mouth and be like, hey, she also dated Dre. So annoying. Tell me why not even like 2 or 3 years ago, this man, my father-in-law, slapped my ass in front of everybody. By everybody, I mean Jonathan and his mom. And I truly think he forgot where he was and who I was in that moment, because he just went like, oops. And I couldn't say anything, y'all. I didn't know what to say. I froze. Everybody froze. We all just ignored it. To this day, Jonathan won't even acknowledge that. Oh, we're just not going to talk about the time this dude slapped my ass and violated me? Okay. And I caveat this because I saw it with an old boss of mine. Back in the day, I was working at this bank, and my old boss was this guy named Tyson. Cool ass dude. You could tell that he was like an ex-football player, and he was really pumped up one morning, like really pumped up and excited. And I think dude forgot where he was and who he was with, because he just saw Julio's ass and he slapped him, and Julio was like, the fuck? And he realized right after, like, oh shit, I was not supposed to do that. Like, you could tell dude was living in his head thinking that he was in a football locker room back in the day. And nothing ever happened to that. They ignored it too, but I saw that whole thing go down as an outsider. So I guess I could understand it, but also, why have I been conditioned to just ignore things? That's the best response that I've ever had in situations like that. I just ignore it and act like it never happened, but there's just this underlying awkwardness. Creepy. Jonathan and I have been together for 5.5, going on 6 years now, and I can tell you that I've probably seen Dre less than a handful of times. And we were not invited to his second wedding, where he renewed his vows. That's awkward and weird, but it was such a fluke. I don't even know if I can count that as a real relationship, honestly. It's just crazy that that's my father-in-law. I just think he's a creep. Yeah, I think he's a creep. But I'm just supposed to act like it's fine. It's not. I don't like him. And if I'm being 100,000% honest, I'm not the biggest fan of my mother-in-law, but that's because she beat the shit out of Jonathan growing up. But, you know, you can't choose your in-laws, I guess. It's just crazy because all the women that have come into my brother's life have essentially taken them away from the family. And I think that's what happens with boys. But I don't want that to be me. I don't want to be the woman that comes into somebody's life and then just says, hey, you can't be a part of your family. That's a different story for a different day. But that was our mukbang. Just a little depressing. Been in a little bit of a funk, but I'm okay. I think I'll always be in a funk as somebody who suffers from experiences mental health things. Some days are better than others, and this is just what it is. Peace.